Hello everyone, this is James Song here. Welcome back to my video. Today we are covering speaking section. We are covering question 4. So the last question of the speaking section to finish this set with in the TOEFL test. So as you know, there's no reading passage for question 4, just straight out listening lecture, write down the notes at the same time and try to give summarized answer. All right, let's look at this question briefly. Using the examples of electric eel, very specific question, a type of fish, and the knife fish, the second type of fish. So using examples of two fishes, we can say fishes because there are different types of fishes. Explain how producing electricity, subject, benefits, verb, certain fish, object here. Okay, so very straightforward. The listening lecture will be about electric eel and knife fish and how these two fishes produce electricity to benefit themselves. All right, so listening, note-taking, everything here, very important. So let's get right into it. Here comes the listening passage, guys. Let's do this.
Listen to part of a lecture in a marine biology class.
So we've talked a little about how fish use senses like vision, touch, and so forth. But what I want to talk about now is a special ability some fish have, the ability to produce electricity in their bodies. You're probably familiar with these fish that send out electric currents from their bodies naturally. So what's the purpose of this? Well, as you might expect, it can serve some important roles in helping fish survive. First, fish, like all animals, need food to survive. Well, the ability to produce electricity helps some fish to capture prey. You know, other organisms in the water that they eat. Take the electric eel, for example. The eel produces a strong electric current in its body. When the eel comes into contact with one of the smaller fish it depends on for food, the electric current that it sends out shocks the smaller fish and paralyzes it. It's not able to get away from the eel. The eel captures the fish easily and can eat it at its leisure. So this ability to use electricity to capture prey ensures that the eel gets the food it needs to survive. The ability to produce electricity also helps fish to successfully navigate their environment by detecting nearby objects. Some fish have poorly developed eyes, and the water they live in can be muddy and dark. Now, there's a fish called the knife fish that produces electricity. This creates an electric field around the knife fish's body. When the knife fish swims close to, say, a rock, it senses a disturbance, an interference in its electric field. The fish then realizes that there is a rock nearby and that it has to avoid crashing into it. Once this happens, the knife fish swims away from the rock and thus avoids harming itself.
All right, so I feel that I wrote pretty good notes this time around, as usual. So let's put it into words, right? Yeah, let's do that. So first thing first, first sentence for the answer would be, in the lecture, professor explains how producing electricity benefits certain fish. That's fine. Or, in the lecture, professor explains how producing electricity benefits certain fish, like such as electric eel, knife fish. Okay. Third version, in the lecture, professor explains how producing electricity benefits certain fish by giving examples. Okay, 3 versions. And And I wrote it down for some people, right? But as you can see, we don't need this part. It's a introduction for the introduction. It says, some fish have ability to produce electricity naturally. So what's the purpose? So, we can hit it right here, right? So how producing electricity benefits certain fish. So this again is kind of introduction. Fish needs food to survive. Of course, they need food to survive. So what is the first benefit the fish gets? So I'll jump right here as a topic sentence, right? Producing electricity. A fish produce electricity to capture their prey, right? Capture their prey for food. So that's a topic sentence, no more explanation. Probably short answer because it jumps into example right away, okay? For example, eels produce strong electric current. So when they send out the electricity, it shocks the prey, and prey cannot get away from the eel. So eels can capture the prey easily and eat them, consume them, okay? Second benefit is that, or second, electricity help fish to successfully navigate nearby object or navigate, okay? Avoiding the obstacles nearby, whatever, okay? Successfully navigate. Because we have this part in the explanation, okay? Some fish have poor vision, right? So we can include this in here or take it out, or mentions with the topic sentence. Not very important. We can jump right into here to give an example. For example, knife fish send out electricity to create electric field around them. So when they approach the rock nearby, it sends the disturbance to help knife fish realize there is a rock nearby to be able to avoid the rock from harming themselves. Okay, so this is all done by sending out the electricity around them and forming electricity field so that they can feel what objects are near them to go around or avoid altogether. So that's what I'm trying to say, okay? Go. That's done, isn't it? So before I do 30 seconds preparation, just real quick, one more time for you guys. In the lecture, professor explains how producing electricity benefits certain fish. First benefit is sending out electricity help fish to capture prey. For example, eel send out strong electric current. When they send it out to the prey fish, it shocks them so that prey cannot get away, for eels to capture their prey and eat it successfully. Second benefit is fish can successfully navigate around or avoid nearby object. For example, knife fish send out electricity to create electricity field around them. So if there is a rock nearby, then the fish feel the disturbance to avoid the rock and navigate. Something like this, okay? So 20 seconds demo, this is the hard part. It's always hard to do this in 20 seconds. It's just such a short period of time, no matter how you look at it. So let's go. Two benefits. First, to capture prey, example, eel, send out electricity, shocks the prey, paralyzed, can't get away. Second, successful navigation, nearby object, create electricity field around them, rock there, able to avoid. Yeah, it's really tight. But don't worry, you can see these notes while you're speaking. So, you know, it's like a rehearsal to your answer. You kind of answering twice. You are practicing your perfect answer one time. And then still, you can look at the notes and calm yourself down and making the full sentence one after the other, right? So it's not like you have to memorize this and you cannot see the notes anymore when you give the full answer, okay? So it's just a prep, the most effective prep within 20 seconds, right? So we have just the last part left, as you know. Let's do this. So full answer in 60 seconds and the script on the screen. Let's go, guys. Okay, guys, 60 seconds to speak the perfect answer. Let's do this. Start speaking now. Beep. The professor explains how producing electricity benefits certain fish by using examples of two types of fish. First, the ability to produce electricity helps some fish to capture prey. For example, the electric eel produces a strong electric current. So when the eel sends out the electricity to their smaller prey fish, it paralyzes the prey and the prey fish cannot get away. The eel captures the fish easily and eats it. Second, producing electricity helps fish to successfully navigate the environment by detecting objects nearby. For example, a knifefish can produce electricity, so it creates an electric field around its body. When the knifefish swims close to a rock, it senses a disturbance in its electric field, so the fish swims away from the rock to avoid it. Yeah, so pretty full. I was, speaking pretty, not a lot, but, nice and slow, not overly slow, but, I wasn't trying to speak fast. I spent full 60 seconds. So, you can practice multiple times to get there, just like how I have done it. But, I wasn't like intentionally speaking really fast. So I hope you can get this answer and put it into, 60 seconds without too much problem. All right, so another question, done and dusted. Yeah, that's it. That's how you get the perfect score for this question. And thank you very much once again for watching this video to learn. I really appreciate you guys, watching this video till the end and, trying to improve your TOEFL score with me. I thank you and I appreciate you guys. So I'll see you in my next video and let's go at it. Let's do this all over again in our next video. Thank you guys. Have a great day. Goodbye.